If you want to crush your Ironman swim, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what got me to 48 minutes. I'm going to break down what you can do to make your swim faster, and not just for Ironman, but for any triathlon. Let's sit back, relax, and let's take it all in. First, let's talk about my training structure. The biggest enemy of progress, I believe, is random training. When you have a system, things just go so much more to plan and you can get that much more out of yourself. I certainly had a system and I swam 4 to 5 times per week. My total volume for the week was 20 to 25K. Now you can't swim fast unless you train fast. And now I'm gonna break down for you exactly what my week looked like in terms of when I did my threshold work, when I did my speed endurance work, when I did my VO2 max work, and everything in between. Let's take a look at that week. Now for this to make sense, I'm gonna go ahead and show you exactly what my week looked like in terms of the swim, bike, and run as a professional triathlete. I was blessed with the opportunity that this was the only thing that I did, so don't be intimidated by the numbers. You can just know what the structure looked like, and this can be modified to suit anybody's schedule. So let's begin, okay? On Monday, that was typically my recovery day to recover from a big weekend. But we wanted to build that base. We wanted to keep it high and big. When you're training 3 sports, it's real easy to lose that base. And even when you're doing it professionally, you were constantly focused on trying to keep that base big, because the bigger base you have, the higher the peak can be. And with triathlon, that's no different. So I was trying to keep the base high, but actively recover myself with just low intensity swimming. My swim on a Monday would be 4K, and I would focus on using equipment, focusing on my technique, just trying to make sure that even though I was tired, I was still keeping good form. So my warm up might be 1,000, where I go 400 swim, 300 pull with paddles, 200 kick, 100 drill. Then I might go into a set of 200 swim with paddles and pull buoy, then 2 100s normal swim, and repeat that 5 times. You know, it was something like that that was within my schedule on a Monday. I would also run nice and easy, 8 miles, and do a gym session that usually lasted around 40 minutes. Tuesday was a key day in terms of the swim and the run. On Tuesday, I would do 5Ks worth of swimming, and I would focus on threshold or VO2 depending on what part of my training phase I was in. This particular week is a snapshot of one of my build weeks for the Ironman that led to a 48-minute swim. And in this week, I was doing threshold. My main set would have been something along the lines like 20 times 100 on an interval of 130, just holding the best pace I could hold, okay? And then I would have a base building volume bike, 90 minutes, and my key run would usually be on the track. I'd do something like a 2-mile warm up, then I'd do a main set, something like 10 times 400, 8 times 200. And yes, even though I was training for an Ironman, it's important to keep that speed and high-end energy zone efficient, because that brings up all your paces. So that was the case there. And as we got closer to the race itself, this was earlier in the build. This got more race specific, but in this phase right here, that's what it was. Then on Wednesday, I would just do a base building bike, 2 hours on the bike, keeping it zone 2, lower intensity, pure volume on the swim, 5 kilometers, keeping it lower intensity. But this time it was more focused on Ironman specific pace, and that is not as intense. So we're talking about no harder than a zone 3 type effort. And I would do a set like maybe 6 times 400, alternating 400 normal swim, 400 with paddles, and just go back and forth with that as my main set. Warm up of 1,000, little post set, maybe using some fins and some drills. And it's pretty easy to get to 5K that way. Then on Thursday, it would be all about the base, and my volume on the bike would be around 3 hours, and there would be a nice and easy 10-mile run. There would be no swim on that day, for this particular week, that is. Then Friday, again, we wanted to get ready for a big weekend. There's no intensity on Friday either. It's basically the same thing that we had on Monday. A volume type swim with drill specific work. A similar set that I did on Monday would be also on Friday. Maybe if I use paddles more on Monday, I'll use fins more on Friday. I would incorporate a little bit more strength type swimming on Friday. I might do some cables where you hook a cable around your waist and you pull weight just to kind of build strength, but not tire myself out too much. And that, like I said, that would be 4K. The run would be just like on Monday, 8 miles, strength, 40-minute session. And the strength training in this kind of building, and when you're training like this, it's not like huge weights. It's just more injury prevention and core, a lot of core, because when you're in the TT position on your bike, it really helps and makes it more comfortable as well if you have a good core. All right, so now comes the weekend where we do bring the intensity back, and this is where we're focused on going longer. At least I was in this type of week. My key run at this point was 15 miles, and it was a tempo type run, so I'd get quality in there. I might do a 2 to 3 mile warm up with some strides, and then we would do something like 3 times 5K, and I would try to hold maybe just 17 minutes for those 5Ks. Take a nice, good active recovery jog in between, maybe a 1K's worth of active jogging, and then do it again. And I hope I mentioned, yeah, there was a key bike over here. For some reason, I feel like I forgot that, but yeah, there was a key bike where this would have been threshold work as well. We won't get into the specifics of that. And then on Sunday, I'd have a key bike, which would be similar to what my long run was. And that would be tempo work as well. A lot of Ironman specific type stuff, maybe 3 times 20 minutes at, Ironman watts. And then, there'd be volume sandwiched around that. And I definitely have a cafe stop maybe after 2.5 hours within that ride, get some coffee and cake, and then just keep going on my merry way. There would be a key swim though on that day after the key bike. And I always like to do a little bit more of kind of high-end stuff. Just since I went so long with the run and bike over the weekend, the swim would be kind of short and fast. I like to do stuff like 30 times 50, every third 50 all out, and that would be my swim on Sunday. Now this week, that would be the threshold and the short fast 50s on Sunday, but then on the next week, I would work different energy zones. I would be much more VO2 focused on that Tuesday, and then more speed endurance on that Sunday, where this might be, even though I like to go more short and fast, maybe I would bring in some Ironman specific work and stretch it out a little bit, maybe 5 times 300 at Ironman pace or just above. So this was my typical kind of building week as a professional triathlete. And like I said, this can be modified to fit your needs, especially if you're a working person. I do this with my athletes now. We cut out some of this volume and just focus on the intensity, and you get a lot of bang for your buck that way. And then when a window opens up, then we get that volume in as well. Now, if you're wondering how you can apply that kind of schedule to your own schedule, I've created a 12-week training plan that is leading up to a triathlon swim from distances 400 all the way up to an Ironman. And the plan is geared towards people who currently swim 120 up to 145 per 100. Check it out in the comments below. And guys, if you want to know your true swim potential in this moment, I want you to take my quiz and we'll give you a score to let you know. Look in the comments below, click the link and find out. Now, a big question I often get is how much of that is in the open water? Now, for me, I have a lot of experience in the open water over the years, so most of my swimming, believe it or not, was actually in the pool. But if you're not used to the open water, it is different and you do need to be out in it. I would recommend that in a schedule like that you get in the open water at least once per week, and I would do it on one of my recovery days, my active recovery days. So on a Monday or a Friday in my case. And you also need to be aware that in open water, you can actually be faster than what you're actually capable of. And what do I mean by that? If you draft off of somebody, just like on the bike, you can go faster. You can save about 20% effort if you get on somebody's feet. Yes, even if they're kicking water in your face, they're actually pulling you forward. So if you're somebody that is currently a 1 hour level swimmer, if you get on somebody's feet who's swimming around 57, 58, you'll swim 57, 58. So always try to find feet, always try to get to packs. Don't swim by yourself if you can help it. If you've done the work, don't be afraid to go for it on race day. A lot of people make the mistake that they go way too conservative on the swim just because they're thinking to themselves, I have a big day up ahead, I need to just take it easy here. But actually what you do in the water has a ripple effect on the whole day. If you get out with a good pack on the bike, you can legally draft. Yes, the legal distance, it still helps you, and you'll be around faster people that could pull you through a faster faster overall performance. In the water itself, you need to be even pacing it, meaning the most even pace throughout will get you the best overall time. So don't start too fast, but don't start too slow either. Just constantly be going at that level that you feel like you can hold and progress forward. For me, that was around 115 per 100 meters on my Ironman day. But for you, whatever number that is, know it and hold it. I'm confident that if you follow what we did in this video, you will improve your swimming. If you want to know exactly how much swimming you should be doing, check out this video. And until next time, I'm Lukas Siska. Take care.